Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. For many wrestlers, a call from WWE offering a return to the grandest stage in sports entertainment is a dream come true. Yet for one former Paul Heyman guy, that call was met not with excitement, but with rejection, not once, but twice. Paul Heyman is a name synonymous with wrestling brilliance. A master of manipulation, a genius on the microphone, and a man with an unmatched eye for talent, Heyman has managed some of the greatest names in wrestling history. From Brock Lesnar to CM Punk, his clients, often dubbed Paul Heyman guys, have gone on to become icons in the industry. Among the many names that have passed through Heyman's tutelage, one star stood out for his raw talent, unmatched charisma, and undeniable presence. He was poised to be the next big thing, a superstar that WWE could build around. However, his journey took an unexpected turn, leading him away from WWE and onto new ventures. After a promising start in WWE, this former Heyman guy found himself at a crossroads. Despite being backed by one of the most influential figures in wrestling, backstage politics, creative frustrations, and personal aspirations led him to exit the company. While fans clamored for his return and WWE left the door open, he chose to carve his own path. Outside WWE, he thrived. Whether it was working the independent scene, making a name for himself internationally, or even stepping into other combat sports or entertainment ventures, he proved that life after WWE was not only possible but also fulfilling. In the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling, WWE is always looking for ways to bolster its roster, especially with talents who have already proven their worth. It was no surprise that WWE reached out with an offer for him to return, believing his name value and experience could elevate their product. The first offer was tempting. A lucrative deal, a major storyline, and a chance to return to the spotlight under Triple H's new creative vision. But he declined. Whether it was lingering frustrations with WWE's structure, a lack of creative freedom, or simply being content with his post-WWE career, he decided to stay away. Then came the second offer. This time, WWE sweetened the deal even further. More money, more creative input, and the potential to work a lighter schedule, similar to what some top stars enjoy. Yet, once again, he turned them down. Many fans were left wondering, why would someone who had the wrestling world at his fingertips refuse an opportunity to return to the biggest stage in the industry? Creative freedom. WWE, despite its recent improvements, still has a structured and often restrictive creative process. Many former talents who have returned have spoken about these limitations, and perhaps he wasn't willing to compromise his artistic vision. Business ventures, whether it's wrestling elsewhere, expanding into acting, MMA, or other business endeavors, he may have found more stability and happiness outside WWE's demanding schedule. Past issues. If his initial departure was surrounded by creative frustrations or backstage disputes, it's possible that those wounds never fully healed. Personal fulfillment. Sometimes, success isn't measured by the size of the crowd or the prestige of the brand, but by personal satisfaction. He may have simply been happier away from the WWE machine. The identity of this former Paul Heyman guy remains a topic of speculation. Several names come to mind. Superstars who were once under Heyman's guidance, but left WWE under different circumstances. CM Punk, the most famous Paul Heyman guy. Punk left WWE on bitter terms, but did eventually return in 2023. If this report is true, then he's likely not the mystery talent. Ryback. Once a major force in WWE, Ryback was managed by Heyman briefly but left WWE and has been outspoken against the company. Curtis Axel, another Heyman protege, Axel never reached the heights expected of him and quietly left WWE. Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, now thriving in AEW. Cesaro was briefly aligned with Heyman, but left WWE for greater opportunities. Other indie stars. Heyman has worked with many talents over the years, and there could be an overlooked name that fits the bill. With WWE continuing to expand its roster and look toward the future, it wouldn't be surprising if they made a third attempt to lure him back. But for now, it appears he is content with his decision to remain away from the company that once seemed like his destiny. The world of professional wrestling is unpredictable. Never say never. But for now, this former Paul Heyman guy has chosen his own path, one that doesn't lead back to WWE. In the world of professional wrestling, few names command as much respect as Paul Heyman. The self-proclaimed wise man has been responsible for molding some of the biggest stars in the industry. From Brock Lesnar to Roman Reigns, Heyman's association with a wrestler often guarantees a meteoric rise in WWE. However, not all Paul Heyman guys achieve long-term success under the WWE banner. Some find themselves at odds with the company, seeking different creative visions, financial opportunities, or simply feeling disrespected by past dealings. One such wrestler, whose time in WWE was defined by immense potential, but never quite reached the heights expected, recently made headlines by turning down a return to the company, not once, but twice. To truly understand why this wrestler declined WWE's offer, we have to go back to his rise in the company. When he first stepped into the WWE system, he was heralded as a future star, someone with the in-ring skills, look, and charisma to be a top guy. But what truly set him apart was his alliance with Paul Heyman. Heyman saw something in him that the higher-ups might have overlooked. He was rough around the edges, but he had an undeniable presence. Under Heyman's tutelage, he was given an edge, a storyline, and a platform to showcase his abilities. While not everyone in WWE thrives under the Heyman banner, those who do often find themselves in championship contention. However, as is often the case in WWE, the relationship did not last forever. Creative differences, backstage politics, and shifting priorities within the company led to this wrestler's departure. And though he moved on, his story in WWE always felt unfinished. For many former WWE stars, leaving the company can be a daunting experience. Some find themselves struggling to regain their footing, while others thrive in new environments. This former Heyman guy chose the latter path, reinventing himself outside WWE. He explored new promotions, found creative freedom, and perhaps most importantly, proved that he didn't need WWE to be successful. Whether it was in AEW, NJPW, Impact Wrestling, or another independent circuit, he honed his craft and built a dedicated fan base that respected his decision to walk away from the WWE machine. In interviews, he remained diplomatic about his time in WWE, neither burying the company nor outright dismissing a return. But behind the scenes, WWE had already taken notice. The company knew his value, saw the work he was putting in elsewhere, and eventually reached out with an offer to bring him back into the fold. The first time WWE came calling, it was under the guise of a fresh opportunity. They pitched the idea of a return, possibly even reconnecting him with Paul Heyman in some capacity. Given Heyman's role in shaping Roman Reigns' dominant run, it made sense to want to place this former ally back under his wing. But he wasn't sold. He had spent years proving he could be a star without WWE. He had creative freedom that he wasn't sure he would have if he returned. And most importantly, he wasn't convinced that WWE truly saw him as a top-tier talent, rather than just another name to fill out the roster. So he turned them down. Some thought it was a knee-jerk reaction, a decision made in the heat of the moment. After all, very few wrestlers walk away from WWE money. But for him, it wasn't about the money, it was about respect, control, and ensuring he wasn't just another cog in the machine. Months passed, and WWE continued to evolve. With the rise of new stars and a renewed focus on long-term storytelling, the company once again reached out to their former Paul Heyman guy. This time, the offer was even sweeter: a strong push, a main event feud, and a contract that would set him up for years. On paper, it was an offer that many would take in a heartbeat. But once again, he declined. This time, the decision wasn't just about WWE's creative direction. It was about the lessons he had learned. He had seen how WWE operated. He had witnessed how wrestlers, even top-tier ones, could be discarded when the company's interests changed. And he knew that no matter how great the offer looked, things could shift in an instant. More than that, he had built something outside WWE that he wasn't ready to walk away from. The idea of returning was tempting, but the independence he had carved out was worth more than any contract they could offer. Fans often speculate about what might have been if he had taken the offer. Would he have feuded with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, or Cody Rhodes? Would he have been slotted into a major WrestleMania match? Could he have finally had the run that WWE once envisioned for him? These are questions that may never be answered. But what is clear is that this former Paul Heyman guy has chosen his own path. And in an industry where so many feel trapped by the system, that alone is a victory.